Hello students, how are you all? I am your class 10 physics teacher. I am Mr. Prithviraj, as you all know. So we have started your chapter called excretion, and where I have explained you about kidney and its structure and important parts of kidney, that also I have explained, and entire excretory system. We have done up to that. Now today we will understand about nephron, which is the most important part of your kidney. Means kidney is made up of number of nephrons. Hundreds of thousands of nephrons collectively makes kidney an excretory organ. Now today we will be discussing what is the structure of nephron. Very important, difficult one, okay, and most expected question, high demand question for board exam. I hope you all give close attention to it, okay. Okay, I'll write here, structure of nephron. Let us speak about structure of nephron. First thing is, each nephron has basically two parts. Each nephron has how many parts? Two parts. What are they? First thing is your Malpighian body. What it is? Malpighian body. Did you understood? First part is your Malpighian body, and second part is your renal tubule. Second part is called as renal tubule. Okay, renal tubule. About these two parts we will be learning. What we will learn? Structure. Okay, we will be learning structure. You need to know collectively these two will make a single nephron. Nephron is very small, okay, but its work is very big. Okay, so first I will tell you what is Malpighian body, then I will tell you what is renal tubule and what are their works. We will discuss in our upcoming classes. Now, let us draw. Let us learn how to draw this particular structure. Drawing with learning. It's very important, okay? Okay, so this is what you can see, the structure of nephron. Now I'll do labeling. Please look at, please give focus. Okay, you can see this particular thing. The first particular pipe kind of thing is there. This is actually your renal artery. This main pipe is your what? Renal artery. This is your renal artery. And now this is called as efferent arteriole. What it is, students? Efferent arteriole. That is called as the efferent arteriole. Now this efferent arteriole is turning into a coagulated C. As you can see, it is turning twisted ball-like structure. Then after that, it is coming outside with different color. This particular thing will be called as your efferent arteriole. What? Efferent arteriole. Is that understood? First efferent arteriole, then efferent arteriole. Now you can see a capsule. This is called Bowman's capsule. This particular cup-like thing you can see, no? This is called what? Bowman's capsule. That is called Bowman's capsule. And as you can see, this twisted structure, that is called glomerulus. What it is, students? That is called glomerulus. That is called glomerulus. Okay, this is called glomerulus. Then after that, what we are having? Then again, we are having this particular thing. As you can see, this twisted structure. This twisted structure, as you can see. Yes, all of you can see this twisted structure. This is called PCT. The twisted structure which you can see, this is called PCT. What, students? PCT. The full form of PCT is proximal convoluted tubal. Okay, PCT means what? Proximal convoluted tubal. Now next is your U-shaped tube. You can see this one. This U-shaped tubal. This is called loop of Henle. This is called loop of Henle. Okay, loop of Henle. Is that clear? Now it is called as loop of Henle. Now this second twisted structure, as you can see from here, the second convoluted structure, if you can see, this is called as DCT. This is called as DCT. What do you mean by DCT? DCT means what? Distal convoluted tubal. What it is called? Distal convoluted tubal. So you have understood how to draw and level the structure. Yes, you all have understood. Now listen for the explanation. Now what exactly is explanation? As you can see, the Malpighian body. This Malpighian body means this one. Okay, Bowman's capsule along with your glomerulus is called Malpighian body, or you can say main filtration unit. That is our main filtration unit. This is our artery. Artery will carry good blood. Yes, artery is carrying good blood. Then small pipes will arise from arteries. Those are called arterioles. Those are called arterioles. Now this arteriole will come and it will be connecting with glomerulus. Artery will be coming and is connected with glomerulus. Please remember, arteries will always carry oxygenated blood. Which blood? Oxygenated blood. Not only oxygen, it is pure, but lot of impure things are there, like urea, potash, lot of inorganic salts. These all things are also there. So that's why clean blood need to be pure in kidney. Okay. So carbon dioxide already taken out. Now this good blood is having lot of impurities. Those impurities need to be filtered. Now it will come through an arteriole called as efferent arteriole. What? Efferent arteriole. Efferent arteriole is broader. Efferent arteriole is broader. Now efferent arteriole will come into glomerulus, okay, and it will go from efferent arteriole. It will go again from which arteriole? Efferent arteriole. Please remember students, efferent arteriole is broader than efferent arteriole. When an object is broader and other end is narrower, then what will happen? The blood will go by exerting much pressure. You can see this in a tube also. When you are using a tube at your house, if you will touch it, what will happen? Mostly what will happen? The blood, means your pipe, the water will come with much faster rate. That's what here will happen. Now the blood is coming with broader region to shorter region. While going, what will happen? There will be one pressurized pumping action will happen. What will happen? Pressurized pumping action will be happening, and all the impurities except blood cell will be going into your Bowman's capsule. They all will go into Bowman's capsule. Here it is glomerulus. From there they will be transferred into where? Bowman's capsule. Now only blood will travel through your efferent arteriole. So you need to remember, because of this narrow outlet, what will happen? Pressure exert and glomerulus, it function as filtration unit. Now Bowman's capsule, which accommodate one glomerulus in line singly. Okay. Now let us talk about this Bowman's capsule. You can see this, like this it is there. Now this Bowman's capsule is accommodating one single glomerulus. The layer of the Bowman's capsule, the upper layer of the Bowman's capsule is connected with squamous epithelial cell. In your 9th class, you might have read in your tissue chapter, that is squamous epithelial cell, which is a little bit fat it is containing and a little bit spongy. And this squamous epithelial cell will have certain certain dots, means holes over there. It is having what? Number of holes over there, means whatever thing is pressurized and coming outside will easily travel through this number of holes. Okay, so this is called podocyte cells. These cells are called what? Podocyte cells. Podocyte cells are those cells called as squamous epithelial cell, which are lined on Bowman's capsule. These are fine pores between podocyte cells, allow passage of materials filtered out from glomerulus. Whatever materials filtered out from glomerulus will be allowed to pass through these podocyte cells, because they are having small pores inside them. This is what you need to understand. Then what? Then come for tubules. How many tubules you are having, students? 3 students you are having. What are they? PCT, loop of Henle and DCT. Okay, sorry, this is HE. Okay, loop of Henle, PCT and DCT. These are the 3 tubules which we will talk about. PCT is what? Proximal coagulated tubule. And before I talk about tubules, you must know one thing. Around those tubules, you can see violet color structures I have drawn. These violet color structures, as you can see, these violet color structures, you people can see, right? These violet color structures are called as capillaries. What are they, students? Blood capillaries. I'll tell what is the work of these blood capillaries just after this particular class. But you need to understand that this entire tubules, PCT, DCT and your loop of Henle is covered by number of around tube capillaries. And these capillaries are called as peritubular capillaries. What they will be called as? Peritubular capillaries. Why are these peritubular capillaries are situated? These peritubular capillaries will be absorbed whatever good materials were transferred into tubules. Suppose some kind of substances which are needed to body, and again it is filtered. During filtration, if it comes to your If it comes to your tubules, then again they will be reabsorbed by whom? By this particular thing called peritubular capillaries. Is that understood? Yes. See, distal coagulate tubule opens into a collecting duct. You see this particular pipe? Yes, this one, broader one, which I am looking at. This is called as collecting tube. This is called collecting tube. CT, collecting tube. So all the dust products will go over there. Okay. Now, collecting tube from pyramidal and cycles which open into a pelvis lead into the ureter. All the parts of the renal tubules are covered by a network of peritubular capillaries formed in efferent arteriole. These peritubular capillaries join from renal venule which joins at the venule from finally into renal vein. See students, now this efferent arteriole which is coming out, it is only making these peritubular capillaries. Now these peritubular capillaries will connect with what? Renal venules. Renal venules. We spoke about arteriole. Like that, venules will be there. Arterioles are small structure of artery. Venules are the small structure of veins. Okay. Now this number of veins will be collecting and they will be making renal vein. They are connected with at last renal vein. So this is it. Everything we have explained, and you need to understand this coagulated tubule means this your collecting tubule. At last, it will be connected with ureter. I'll tell you what was ureter. In our first class I have explained, ureter. These collecting duct will at last connected with our what? Our ureter. Okay. In our next class, we will be learning how urine is formed. The mechanism of urine formation. We will be learning in our next class. Until then, bye bye.